Greetings, wild and weirdos and weirdettes and friends and foes from beyond the stars. It is time for Wild and Weird Radio Live.
That almost felt like coast to coast from beyond the stars. That's great. Guys, we've got young Daniel here hanging out with us. Daniel Barnett from the UK. It is properly dark 30 over there right now. But I'm going to go ahead and before we dive into him, we're going to do the usual. We've got the Deuster in the house. What's going on, brother? Bigfoot, Littlefoot's hanging out with us. Pat, we've got Pat. Donna, look at you. You were early this week, Donna. Oh, thanks. LW Marshall in the house. Teresa of Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State. The Fob Daddy, Ike Fauber. Daniel, that's somebody we're going to have to get you a couple of his lures and send over your way, and you can go fishing with those. They're absolute seriously award-winning fishing lures. Handmade. They're great. Tommy Swigger, what's up, brother? Larry Hose, Ada Cox. Then we've got Terry McCullough, James Nelson, Oz in the Woods. You guys are awesome. You'll make it every Thursday, every time, and we love you. And
I tell you what, I'm trying to watch everybody. I'm going to welcome everybody over there on the Instagram side as well.
They still have it integrated over to where we can see that.
Nope. But I have to keep flipping back and forward. So everybody over there on Instagram, hello, welcome to the show. We're thinking about you. And if you want to join the conversation, feel free to do so. And you can also hop over on our YouTube and start conversing there as well. We're going to have quite a show tonight. We've got a good lineup. We've got two special guests that'll be joining us tonight, and it's all about encounters, and that includes all encounters.
That's right.
So it's going to be a really good show.
Anita Allen's in the house. We got Jimothy over at Spooky Appalachia. How you doing, Jimbo? Good to see you. Hey, keep an eye on the cameras on Saturday, brother. Lisa, what is going on? Linda Sigmund, how you doing? Fish Belly, Rob Posey, trying to get everybody else caught up. Oh, Lisa coming in hot. Thank you, Lisa.
There's Lisa.
Keeping it free for E.
And the blessings are right out the gate. Thank you very much, Lisa.
And speaking of the blessings, this show is free and brought to you guys by our executive producers, Adam Good, LW Marshall, Teresa of Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, Tommy Swigger, Pat, Small Town Monsters, Eyes in the Woods, James Nelson, and our lovely super chatters that have just come from all over the world to hang out with us at Wild and Weird Radio Live. Dewey Edwards, the Deuster, Spooky Appalachia, Guitar Chains Craig, Travis Rednick, Jeffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots. We need to check on him. I hadn't seen him drop in a minute. Bigfoot, Littlefoot, Terry Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Finding the Trackway, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, Ike, the Fob Daddy Fauber, Ashley Hilt of On Wednesdays We Talk Weird, and that other talk show that I always butcher the name, but it is about beasts, and Lisa McAdams. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for keeping it free.
There we go. Trying to watch everything all at once here. I got a few people over there on Instagram have joined. I see what we got. Shikaroka. We've got Bill Futrio, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hey guys. And Spooky Appalachia joined us over there as well, actually.
There's a Sky Daddy for everybody over there. Hey. Nancy. So good it deserved to.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Ada Cox.
Ada. Well, now you're going to have to give him Mothman. Mothman be with you. I'll tell you what. Speaking of which, you guys get up there and get to that mini golf because it's amazing. So I'm going to say about that. And I used to say, well, not affiliated with, but you know what? I'm pretty much think we are at this point. So yeah, get up there and play the mini golf
It's hard
because
to separate the two at this.
yeah, it really is.
Junction.
It's just how it is. So anyway. Joe, why don't you announce our guest here and let everyone know
we've got Daniel Barnett. He is a young gentleman, as we can see, from the UK, and he's been going out and about and doing some research out in the forest, and he's collected some of the best eDNA samples in history regarding this bizarre and strange topic that we call Bigfoot, or the hominid creature that wanders the woods out here. So Daniel, go ahead, take it away, man. Introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you're doing.
So, hi guys. As Joe said, my name is Daniel Lee Barnett, and I'm 14 years old, and I am the UK's youngest cryptozoologist, I found out. I came across an 18-inch track and took some eDNA, and like me, I will go around to every company and bother them until they finally give us an answer. And we found a actual lab who would actually take the eDNA, and it took they told me, thanks Tom, it took 6 weeks. It takes usually 6 weeks to do a proper eDNA sample. And when they came back to me, and they went, we need an extra week. Now, bit weird. When that extra week was over, it came back to my shock, great ape DNA and old world monkey.
Isn't that's wild? Now, Pat asked a good question. Could you tell everybody real quick what eDNA is?
So eDNA is environmental DNA, where you can collect a sample, and scientists can then extract DNA from that soil sample or saliva, whatever, and they can then test it, and then I think it's 6 weeks or something that they can look back and see what's come into contact with that certain soil or whatever.
It's pretty interesting because one of the ways that this stuff is collected is the shedding of skin cells, because we're constantly shedding skin cells. We're constantly, whether you see it or not, there's always sweat production. We have oils on our skin that are left behind everything we touch. That's how fingerprints are lifted as well. But this is if you would say take the fingerprint and then have the fingerprint analyzed for DNA to see, what kind of sample you're dealing with there. And what Daniel came up on was, like he said, an 18-inch track. He scooped a sample of the dirt and sent it off to a lab and got a test. Is that right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Fantastic.
So
yeah, it's go on.
So Ron, what do you think? Like great ape and old world monkey in the UK, in a small patch of forest in the UK.
We call that a hybrid.
Yeah, or I mean, it could be.
How? The question is how. That's the real question.
Because what you're talking about, great ape and old world monkey, those are two different species.
Yeah, it's not.
So what are the odds that you have a loose great ape from a zoo that hasn't been reported and an old world monkey just cruising around? Some kind of lemur, or not a lemur, but
it's very unlikely. And to say
kind of
where this forest is located, you would have to go through the town to kind of someone would spot it, let's say. and to answer that question, I have no idea, and I sincerely hope not. And so I honestly don't know, and say the only explanation I have for the great ape, as humans, we carry around a small amount of great ape DNA. So that could have some to affect, let's say. But old world monkey, we don't carry around, to be completely honest. And when people try and convince me, I go, no, we don't. We don't carry our old world monkey. And how's that ended up in 18-inch footprint? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
What's wonderful about this, Daniel, is that unlike just, track casts, things that can be pretty much just refuted on the spot by some people, it's very hard to refute DNA. Even if you don't know where it's from, it leaves a huge question mark that hangs over this, and that's how and why, right? But what are I just want to know, what are most of the I should say that the most skeptical group out there trying to say that you've found, because this is not normal, and it has
No,
to be
it's not.
it has to be a desperate answer. I just want to know what they're saying.
So if I go with I'm gonna say people in the UK are the most kind of skeptical about it, and it was something that was really, really just I found annoying, let's say, when it was people closer to me than I thought in my team that thought, no, this is rubbish. When I go, to be completely honest, that I've had Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum turn around to me and go, Daniel, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no answer for you. And I go, well, there you go. There's no answer to this. To answer that question, so to be very, very precise, there was this one 18-inch indentation, and then there was more
You see, Pat said, so a macaque and a chimpanzee go walking through the woods, right?
Guys, please hit that share button, because this is gold. This is good stuff. Go ahead, Daniel.
To say that 15 minutes away from this original print, and I haven't told many people this, that we found other prints. So we took eDNA from them as well. And then we found one more indentation about in a different direction, and we took eDNA of that as well. And it's all created, and there's old world monkey and grey ape from all of them. So it's not just one; it's several. Now, to go back, we only casted that big one. I took some eDNA before, and I took some eDNA after, because when the cast came up, loads of earth came up. So I went under, and I got loads from under that as well. And they asked that I take some vegetation from the cast in there as well, because obviously the cat underneath of the cast would have DNA on as well. So we took several different, and we said, so it's mad. And every time I say it, it's mad.
So Pat is actually one of the people that worked with Ron and I during the dangerous wild animal bills and introductions. And remember when you and I first started talking, because I've been working with Daniel now since the onset of all of this, and bouncing ideas back and forth with him. And the very first thing when he sent me the DNA analysis, the first thing I asked him was like, so what's the illegal pet trade like in your area? And we crossed all those off, because there's none that they're aware of. And Daniel's dad, part of what makes this a little bit easier of a question to answer is Daniel's dad is in law enforcement. That's his job. So he was able to check records and say, oh yeah, no, we don't got anything.
Well, old world monkey is not a common.
Yeah. You're gonna
Mm.
be pressed hard to find something like that.
Kind of hard.
Yeah, and say I've gone to the most
Danny.
skeptical people to say, what do you think it is? And even me and you, Joe, were having a chat a few days ago about
Yeah.
kind of, and it's something very odd. And I think when I've brought this out, people have gone, oh, I have no idea. Now,
Yeah.
it was when I turned to a few members of friends of my team, and they went, oh no, it's the local zoo escaped kind of little monkeys. I'm going, so that's an hour away. So to have then a monkey escape from there, I'm talking quite tiny ones.
Well, and they also take account on those animals every night.
Yeah.
You know, like during basic care, they'll go through in the night. The caregivers will check on each animal because these caregivers for these animals in zoos, they know these animals on an individual basis.
Oh,
And when one's missing, they go look because all the animals will move from the enclosure into an internal compartment inside.
Yep.
So there won't be anybody left out there. So if there's a sick or injured one, they can enter into the enclosure and find it relatively easy and safely. So that wasn't on the cards. And the best thing about this is, like, you're one of the first people out of the gate that say this. I'm not sure this is Bigfoot or Bigfoot related, but this is more of a mystery than anything else. Like, why is this here?
Yeah. And say it's every time we're out in the forest, and this is really weird. We find something, and Joe, I ring you up every time we do find something, and some we are able to explain, but then it's those few things that then you go, you don't know, and saying
right.
It's like it just keeps rolling, and
it's called an escalation.
Yeah, definitely.
It really is.
Definitely.
And it's so interesting watching this because I love watching your brain work through the process and watching how you treat the data and how analytical of this stuff you are. Because guys, like, Daniel is not your typical investigator. He never had a Bigfoot encounter. He didn't go camping and hear wood knocks or a whoop and then got interested. And he had this stuff on TV. He'd watch Finding Bigfoot and Expedition Bigfoot on TV and all the other channels and stuff that have been around for the last 14 years since Daniel's been alive. He's not your I watched In Search Of and saw Patty walking across the screen and I got interested in it. No, this is something that it's unique. You went out, you found this by accident, and then the mystery began to unravel and it got deeper and deeper and deeper. Linda asks, could there be Neanderthal connection? Yes, they were from Europe, Linda, but the Neanderthal genome has been so well mapped to this point that it would have actually shown up Neanderthal DNA listing. It wouldn't have shown Great Ape. It would have actually said this is Neanderthal.
Folks, Daniel Barnett, one of the up and coming Bigfoot researchers, probably going to be somebody very important in this field at some point in the future. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this room full. This is very important information that.
Now tell us, you're going to be actually coming here to the States to some of the Bigfoot events here, right?
Yeah. So
did you tell everybody about that? Where can some of these guys find you when you come over across the pond?
So in June, I believe it's June 8th. I could be wrong on that. It is the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, and I will be there as a guest for you guys to come and see. And I will be there with my books. I'll be there with some Mythical Legends merchandise, and then I will be giving a half-hour talk. So when you guys want to come and see me, come down to Florida, and come and see me for the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. I'll be there with some other amazing people. I hear Renee Holland will be there, Russ Acord will be there, and some other amazing people will be there.
Renee's a good friend of ours. We both really love Renee. She's one of the greatest humans out there, and she's doing it for real, you know. And some of her takes on the Bigfoot phenomena are some of the most interesting that I've been able to listen to. Oh, great! The Men in Black. Greetings, primates. We observe Brandon. He shaved his beard again. He's faking a weird accent. Brandon, by the way, guys, everybody, Brandon is sick once again. This guy has managed to be sick and down and out for almost a month and a half now. So keep him in your thoughts because he's having it rough. Now he's got tonsillitis.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So now you mentioned mythical legends. What is that, Daniel? Tell everybody what mythical legends is.
So mythical legends is becoming several things by the minute. But it's my podcast. And my podcast can be shown on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon. I now find out Audible. I find out, and then we have some of the world-renowned scientists on, and with Joe's help. So we interview. We're more a kind of researchers and the researchers side of advice, and we do have some encounters on sometimes, but we're more kind of the talking to the kind of the scientists and researchers about Bigfoot.
Guys, definitely go check out the show. I've been on it. We got to get Ron on there next.
Yes.
And,
yes.
There's a ton of great interviews that have been done. The Jeff Meldrum's show with you, the 2 episodes have been great. So Teresa says, on an added note, I'm thrilled that we're acknowledging that these things are in Europe, specifically the UK. When I was younger, we didn't talk about that, aside from a rogue case or two.
So I will give you my actual opinion on what I think UK Bigfoot is. I think people have just come up for a name that says UK Bigfoot. It like you guys have in the US, it's just called the UK Bigfoot. Now we do have kind of the wild man and kind of that kind of stuff. But my opinion on UK Bigfoot is it is more of just a monkey, because I think if we had a 7-8 foot tall creature wandering our fields, we would see it every other weekend, I guarantee. And
I agree, because the patches of forest you have, they're dense, but they're small.
Yeah, 100%, Joe.
And most of the forest that's there is like tertiary, meaning it's fairly young forest. You know, a lot of the trees are in their 30s, maybe.
And say it's monkeys could run through our fields and live in our forest without being seen. I could 100% say that, which means if we have a population of monkeys, that could be our UK Bigfoot, 100%. But I don't think that there's an 8 foot tall creature wandering our fields.
Yeah.
So Pat says his bucket list is to pet the Bigfoot. So y'all got to get on finding one for me. Well, buddy, we're going to be dragging you out in the field with us more here soon. So we'll get right on that.
You never know, it could happen.
Uh-oh. Octopus is here.
Octopus have only made it.
What's going on, Octopus? Good to have you.
With a new image there, a new thumbnail.
Larry says we don't pet the Bigfoot, but we chase the orbs.
We don't do either, but you know.
So
bad idea.
So I think what you're doing over there is great, man. It's too cool seeing what you're doing, and being able to be a part of the journey too has been an absolute thrill. And because I've got to meet your dad through this. I've met Nan through this.
Yeah.
and I'm building a little circle of friends over there in the UK. I think we might have to pick up our waders and walk across the pond here sometime.
Something I will say before we move on is I do have to mention my book. I
Oh,
do.
absolutely.
Of course.
I have to. And say So my book is
Hold that back up.
basically.
Put it up there real good and close. Everybody can see it. And then I'm gonna throw a link to it in the comments. All right.
Okay. So my book is obviously available on Amazon. And kind of it goes from when I very first started. And I was sat on the sofa with my cousin, my sister, my grandparents, and we were watching Expedition Bigfoot 2 now. And I would say that book ends about November. So it it's kind of from the start until then, and the next one will be out at the end of this year. And say it's so it's available on Amazon. I will have it available in June if you guys wanted to come and get a signed copy from me. If not, you can buy it online.
Well, I'll say this, Daniel. You're accomplishing more at 14 years old than most people accomplish, in 50, 60 years. You mentioned watching the programs. What drew you to it? Is there anything in particular, or was it just playing in the background and you just kind of gravitated toward it?
So Gramps had it on in his room, and I happened to walk by. I just went, "Oh, what's that?" And I just sat down. That's literally how it started. And it was like once we finished that episode, we then kept going, and then where it got to the end of season 3, we then waited for season 4, and kind of it's just evolved from there. So I was literally just walking past the room.
That's amazing.
So Tommy's got a good question here, and this ties into a lot of what we do, Ron.
Yeah.
How far from Rendlesham Forest was the track found?
So Rendlesham's up north, I take it. I think.
Yeah, it's a military installation.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's quite up north. Like I've got.
I think
let me
in
see.
Scotland.
I'll tell you about roundabout because I know where your site's at. I'll find Rendlesham real quick.
I think Rendlesham is kind of your Yorkshire kind of. Oh, actually, no, southeast. It's southeast.
Okay.
Southeast. Yep. So I would possibly say between 3 to 4 hours if I was gonna take a guess.
Yeah. So there's yeah. It's a good bit away from you. I'd say maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
But so what he's referencing there was a Rendlesham Forest UFO incident. Are you familiar with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we look into the connections of some of this stuff, which we're going to be doing coincidentally tonight with some other guests, and as usual. Now, Sherry Armstrong says, "What about the Gray Man?"
So, I'll say this very, very briefly. So myself and Nam went to the library. Now, I'll say something completely honest. I hate books. I hate reading them. Honestly.
Says the author.
I honestly hate them. I know. I hate reading books. So we did go to the library, and I just wanted to find out, because everyone's saying, "Oh, there's this history about Bigfoot." I'm like, this is just people saying it. I want to read it for myself, and I want to see it in word for word for myself. So me and Nan sat there for about 3 hours looking through these books, and we finally found a folklore dictionary, and we found the words wild man, woodwose, and green man in it.
Yeah.
And this was written in 1999 from an author of I don't know, but that then proved to me that we at least now have the history, and we also now have photographic evidence of churches as well. So we do have some sort of history. I think someone's gone, we have something here in the UK. What it is, we don't know. And I just think that's how kind of people have started and kind of evolved. And I think the more my main thing is to really get more people involved here in the UK, because the more people I get out in the forest, well, the more monkeys will spot.
Deuster was up there quoting when Pat was saying petting a Bigfoot. Deuster quoted the legendary Joe Snyder, and he recently passed away. And he was always saying, "Don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things." So cheers to Joe.
Cheers to Joe.
But yeah, it's really interesting, man. The stuff that this is, the doors that this has opened for you, being 14 years old, and the way that everything is just kind of fallen together. Like it's a story. You know what I mean? Like this is like I'm not, you're not a Disney princess, but this is like a Disney story. You know what I mean? Like the doors opened here, and all of a sudden the road started paving itself.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's unreal.
I think RPG always kind of says my story's like the Wizard of Oz. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. And say, I think what a lot of people are saying, and I think the meaning in my book and the meaning in a lot of new stuff coming out, which I'm not allowed to say, is going from being in school to where I can't sit there in a classroom and sit and to then go out in the forest. That's my classroom. That's where I do my stuff. And it's not
clear your mind out. Yeah, you clear your mind out there, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what I get from it. It's like you were talking about the books. I know when I have to do research, and it was when I was in school as well, I would have to open a book, and when I did, I almost always fell asleep while I was reading the book. And I still do that sometimes. It's very, every now and again I'll get a book that's like, ooh, I can't fall asleep. But yeah, I totally get that, man. I really do.
And say it's the fact of, and I think having on top being autistic as well is hard. It is hard.
Well, you're doing an amazing job.
Say it's
killing it.
It's but I think that's kind of what a lot of people are trying to kind of trying to get through, is kind of where all this started, and it is literally from me going, no, I can't do school, to then going to doing this, and I'm now doing this as a full-time job.
It's amazing.
It's great.
It's amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. Make sure, again, please start hitting the like, the share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And, grab that book and keep watching, because I'm telling you, I know I saw it earlier. It's like, oh, he's already a big deal. Yeah, he's a really big deal, but you don't even understand what's going to happen. This is going to be a game changer. I promise you. I know this. I can tell you this. You can tell. And this is what we need. We need that next generation, and they need to step up, and they need to think, and they need to just do it like this. Be logical. And hey, I've got this idea. Oh, what I don't know what it is. And when you said that, you got my respect immediately when you said, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people Daniel, who will just sit there and say it's this.
Yeah.
It's this.
And that's the hardest thing to do, Ron, when I'm out, because I could have the pieces of the puzzle in front of me. I'd go, this fits. But I still go, no, can't say it.
It's a mystery, man.
It's hard.
That's a beautiful thing.
But yeah.
You're absolutely 100%. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We speak the same language, because it's literally the same thing. We could sit here and tell you we have a, this links to this and this goes to this. Just because the threads seem to connect, it doesn't mean they're tied at the ends just yet.
Right.
You see,
Definitely.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
We need to figure
Yeah.
all that out. And that's how you do it, my friend. I am so happy that we have people out there like this.
Well, do you want to bring Adam on?
Bring him on board.
Our next guest. I gave out the cat out of the bag for everybody, but ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the executive producer, Mr. Adam Good. Somewhere.
Well, wait, I know what it is.
It's not letting me bring him in.
No, it's okay. I know what it is. It's this one. Go ahead. It has to be on dynamic.
There we go.
There you are.
That says she's not used to Joe's new wardrobe.
I know, right? What's really funny is I started to wear a tie-dye shirt tonight. It would have been hilarious if I would have, because no one knows.
Oh, Lisa picked up your book, Daniel.
See, Daniel, that's how it works.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
Men in Black says, we deny the existence of Wookiees outside the North American continent. Have this primate send us his data. It will be safe with us and examined seriously and definitely not immediately thrown away.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Daniel, by the way, honest, this is a real question. Have you had any experiences with Men in Black type figures at this point? Anyone kind of warning you off and saying,
because you're starting to get kind of popular. Your name's out there,
and you're kind of starting to come up on some data that people may not want.
Yeah,
completely out there.
Well, I will say it came on pretty strong when I announced my event in April, and Joe, you may be aware of a few of the things going on. Where yes, we've had a few people kind of go against us and start not only going towards me but going towards other people in the team and other people in the family. And trying to so yes, I can 100% say that it came on quite strong and it came on quite quickly, and I think just because they wanted a free ticket to my event, and I think so they tried to blackmail us, and
Oh wow, dude, this is sad. And that's I mean, I try to say this as much. We try not to get involved in drama. That's our thing. We do our thing. I mean, inevitably it's like a black hole though, right? You circle around it and you're going to get pulled in at some point. But here's the thing. Working together is how you find the answers. Working apart, you don't find anything except for an echo chamber. That's what a lot of people want.
And say, Ron, when I released my eDNA, someone closer to me, no longer closer to me, accused me of planting Bigfoot hair in the forest, and
which is even more.
Hey, I got a question, Daniel. Where'd you get Bigfoot hair?
He's petting Bigfoot. That's the thing. He's petting Bigfoot.
Did someone in the U.S.
He's been keeping this secret his whole life? He's got this friend he's always referred to named Jeffrey, and it's big.
That's almost as bad as the last UAP report there. Well, we have we have a program, or we had a program to study reverse engineered crashed UAPs, but we didn't have any UAPs to study, so we canceled the program. What? It's the same thing.
Well, guys, God has apparently joined the chat. This show was good until Adam came on here.
I'm sorry for what I did.
Larry Hose said, God seems really familiar to me. I'm just not sure why. I'm picking up some MIB vibes.
Right? They have no limit, man. They have no limit. Oh, geez. Well, Daniel
says, oh my God, it's God.
God, you've attracted apparently higher powers tonight. So we know that you're going to have, this event.
That's cult leader.
We know that you're going to have.
Ignore Joe, Ron.
It's so hard.
Ignore Joe.
It's
I
so
know.
hard to do. That's how this show runs.
crying.
We have fun. We never know what's going to happen. We can go from serious to completely like off the rails with, God
I haven't laughed
apparently
this hard.
in the chat. It's just
Sky Daddy became a thing.
nothing like this show anywhere on earth. So here's the question.
He has
What's next? So what's next? Like with you?
So I will say that in 4 weeks I right. Don't stop. In 4 weeks. In 4 weeks,
Fix this for you, Daniel. There you go.
as you all know that that I have 3 amazing people coming over to the UK, and we are doing something. Let's say that, and that will be released. All that news will be released on the event. And say that's kind of a project that will hopefully then get things going even more. Obviously, we're planning to kind of move on with my book and keep rolling with it. And we're just planning to kind of build things up even more. And I'm planning to get over there in the US a bit more. So kind of I'll come around and meet some of you guys and kind of it's plans that we're planning over the next kind of year, 2 years. And then obviously I'm going to try and keep going with the conferences with Joe's help. We have a big conference this year and kind of so keep kind of moving like that, and then obviously then keep going out in the forest and seeing what we find. And so so kind of that's the plan, I hope.
I love the plan, and it's absolutely great, and absolutely look forward to actually being in the field with you at some point in the future, because I have a feeling that's going to happen.
It will do.
Yeah.
And here's what Daniel's referring to here in the next coming weeks. He will be hosting the Bigfoot Bash over there in the UK with Renee Holland, Ronnie LeBlanc, and Ryan Golombeski from over here in the States. They're all jumping over and doing the thing and having a big meet and greet, and they're going to be hanging out with folks. It's going to be a great time. So if you're in the UK, go check it out. If you have vacation time and you want to go to the UK, go check it out.
Love it.
And say there's one more announcement for my July event, which will be coming soon, which I think you may know a bit more about, Ron. Amazing.
But yeah, guys, it's you've got some great stuff going on, man, and we're really excited for you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes, my friend. I literally cannot wait to see where this goes. No, really, because honestly, I get to the point to where I look at some research, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm talking about the field, the research.
And
it gets stagnant. It gets to the point to where you're hearing the same thing over and over again, and it's like there's no hope here, And now there seems to be just maybe you may have found the hope,
And say it's a plan that we're going to start doing is so we are now the biggest UK Bigfoot team in the UK, and we are now planning to possibly change the name and build a team over in the US. So start kind of doing more and start start having the resources to find more things and it's like every single member in my team is now trained to do eDNA the way that we do it, and kind of I won't have anyone go out without knowing casting, without knowing how to do eDNA.
Good.
So then they know exactly how to do it, and they go out with the right kit, and if they don't, then they get a very, very good telling off from me.
Protocols, actual protocols.
Gotta have
And
protocols.
Yeah.
I applaud you for that. Literally, that's amazing,
Thanks.
my friend. Thank you. No, seriously, thank you, because this is what we need. Data is wonderful, but irrefutable data, oh, that's gold.
Right.
And when you really make them have to come up with stupid excuses like you did, it's good data. It's good stuff.
So, guys, if you want to check out Daniel's podcast, this is the flag that it flies under. So you need to go check that out. If you type in Mythical Legends podcast and that's the banner you see, click on it, go check it out, join up, go like and subscribe to his YouTube as well under the same header. And
we'll actually put
go
that
check-
in our channel list when I remember how to do it again, because I remembered one day and it's like,
And
I
very
will put it on
recently, we did a Bigfoot roundtable all together, didn't we?
yeah, we did. I wish we could have stayed on longer. It was fascinating.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. It was, yeah, and funny as well. Yeah.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
was, yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah, good. Amazing.
Adam, what do you think, Adam?
Well, not much.
Okay, wonderful. Daniel, Adam, Dan. That's about
this
Fuck,
is
about
what we
it.
have to deal
Ron.
with.
that's all you get, my friend.
This is what we get all the time,
What
Daniel.
part of the UK are you from, Daniel?
So I'm from the southwest, Somerset.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Yes. So I'm this forest that it all takes place in is on the Quantock Hills, and I'm not going to say this is the exact location, otherwise we'll have half the UK down to that location. So it's but yeah, it's kind of on the Quantock Hills and 15 minutes away from my house, so it's not scary at all.
Bigfoot Littlefoot asked, were control samples gathered from outside of the prints?
So are we talking any other samples that
Right.
have been so
For the eDNA to be tested against?
So we have several different kind of testing stuff going on right now, and I'm gonna say I've had a recent update.
And I was gonna say, and there's some stuff you can't talk about yet.
There's only one thing that I can't talk about, but
Okay.
that's right. And say we sent off some hair samples, that were green.
Yeah.
If anyone can explain that.
Wow.
Well, you've got green tends to be a base color for a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sloths, for example, have green pigment in their hair. There's other mammals that have developed green pigments in their hair as well. It's helps them blend in and camouflage. And there was a running theme about 10 years ago in the Bigfoot field. There were some green hair samples that were found and taken in, and there were, at the time, eDNA wasn't where it's at today. So they weren't able to do anything with those, but they looked at the follicles and they were able to determine that it was not algae, but it was just a green hair. But it changed colors depending on what spectrum of light it was shown.
So, Joe, are you telling me that now that this forest that I'm going in tomorrow is now littered in monkeys and sloths?
He did.
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
It's possible. I mean, if we're gonna go with the escaped zoo animal theory, that's be where I'm going. But for real, the green in the hair, it depends. I'd be interested in seeing how it reacts to different wavelengths of light.
Yeah.
Because the hairs that were found here in the States that were anomalous they reacted differently under different wavelengths of light. They showed red or like a dark brown, or
Mhm.
it was pretty interesting the way that they operated.
Yeah.
And say they're now with the best hands over with you guys in the US, so I trust him in what he does. And yes, I am talking about Dr. J. And say it's just having a massive group of kind of contacts. Let's say it comes in.
Pat says, "I believe in the sloth monkeys of Somerset."
There you go.
Oh, good God.
Man.
I think that's
so
probably in a shirt there.
It's
right.
just I think it's just amazing the stuff that we found by accident, and say it's all surrounded water, which would probably make sense. And say it's just it's getting more and more interesting by the minute. Yeah, so we'll let you guys know what we find tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't wait,
With-
man. Keep me
With sloths
posted.
and monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Squash some monkeys.
I'll be sitting there now. Before you hop off here, Daniel, I want you to see something that was sent in by a member of the collective. It here. If I can get it to load up. This is just a teaser for everybody, guys. This comes from Beth, and it's just unbelievable, some of the stuff that she is able to find in the research area, what you can do if you actually devote yourself to the research and actually spend the time out there. I had her cut this out. She sent me video of this thing, and I was like, you need to cut that out of that tree and keep it, because it's really rare to find something that good and that is purposefully done. And
I don't know what I feel about this. This is crazy.
You cannot say a storm did this, snow didn't do it. But check this out, Daniel. You'll appreciate this. That branch was twisted about itself and tied like in a knot. You can see where the knot's at while it was green.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And this just came in yesterday. Beth sent this to us, and this is just a teaser for everybody because she sent some other goodies too. But we've got to get out on site.
What's amazing about that, Daniel, is that it's not a vine. I know a lot of people are going to think that's just a vine.
It's not a vine.
It's not a vine. You can actually see in the full picture the limb is pulled down and wrapped and tied like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
that's
amazing.
Weird, isn't it? Say it's that's weird. I really don't know what to say about that. It's something that that I can.
It's probably not, Pat. It's just wineberry. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
And say it's so
30 feet.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's now coming up 5 to 1, and I've got to be up at 8:30 in the morning out in forest.
Man.
So yes,
go get you some rest, get you a good sleep, and I'll be waiting for some pictures in the morning, man.
Absolutely. Good hunting, my friend.
Well, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll receive a call from me at some point tomorrow, Joe.
Bring it on, brother.
Amazing and great shirt. Great shirt.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I'll make sure Kelly knows that you appreciated it. Thanks for coming on, man. It's been a blast. I'm glad we finally got to have you come on, and you got to hang out with the folks over here on the live side of things.
Yeah,
and oh, good grief. Adam Good-ish with my face says, "Hello, fellow primates. Don't I, a very real primate on this podcast, and definitely not an AI generated imposter pretending to be me, look great today." Oh, good Lord.
Daniel, thank you for being here and putting up with the nonsense.
That's absolutely fine, bro.
Yeah. Good night, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Tell everybody
Amazing.
we said good night, and thanks for letting you hang out with us so late. So if you're back
Amazing.
there behind the computer, Craig, see you later, buddy.
Amazing. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Good
buddy.
night.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future of research in the UK, right
Right.
there. Possibly the future of research, period.
Michael
there.
Shang.
Michael. Hey.
What?
Blessings of the moth be with you. Thank you so much.
Dude, Michael, thanks for the donation. Thanks for coming on the show too, everybody. Go check
Absolutely.
out, speaking of, go check out this
That one.
this book, The White Monsters
Oh,
of
right
Sherman.
here.
Fantastic little book. It's got one of the coolest encounters that I've read here recently that was not preserved properly for the longest time until they got a hold of the original witness and preserved it. Fantastic
Mikey's a
work.
sleuth.
Kudos to Michael and his
Mikey.
brother.
Mikey's a sleuth, man. He's a
He
real
is.
old, like gumshoe type sleuth too. That's the crazy thing.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
old school Batman, like 1960s, 50s,
Yeah.
60s era Batman, the
Absolutely.
detective.
He may have a bat cave. I don't know.
It's a moth cave.
Could be a moth cave. Absolutely.
So,
Folks, I hope you enjoyed. Oh no.
Ada Cox is out here kicking the
You just
dominoes
owl
down.
us. Why did you owl us? You know what happens when people owl us?
Man, that was a good first hour of the show, and I can't
Mm.
wait. Now we got Adam here for the back half of the hour. This is
Owl houses. Look, there it is.
that was Scott's video.
Owl
Scott's
back at
daughter
you.
calls in that owl regularly off of his back porch.
Isn't it awesome? I love this.
Owl houses. Look, there it is. Hattie's owl. There it goes. Now it's up there.
That's so cool.
looks like the owl at my house.
Probably not.
No.
But Adam, welcome to the show. And yes, Lisa, he is going to rock the world. That's what people don't seem to understand. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not like making this little joke. He's going to change things. And that's what we need. We need things like that, you know. It's kind of like a new hope. It's like
Because
he's the Luke
really is. He's
Skywalker of the
open.
Bigfoot world.
He's open to so much. If the data, the kid's just following the data.
Yeah, he is.
So
It's amazing what
I'm-
happens when you do that.
I'm all on, man.
Yeah, when you follow that data, it may lead you in places that you just never expected. So, Adam's here, everyone. What?
Men in Black over here dropping some wisdom. Owls are birds, and birds aren't real, allegedly.
That's good. So, Adam is here, and we're going to go from one encounter to the other type of encounter. We talked Bigfoot. Now we're going to talk about other non-human intelligences. Of course,
Don't
your
talk
questions.
about me that way.
We haven't even started.
I'm
But-
right here, man.
Yeah, could be AI, but
Only
Yeah.
AI would design that shirt and hat.
that's what I'm thinking. What you just said, Adam. What you just said. I think we're being played. I think that's an AI generated Joe.
It could be. I mean, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. I think this is going to become my new shtick for the lives. I'll wear some
Yeah,
kind
it
of
should be.
crazy shirt.
Should be. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
So, your questions, please focus them on anything you want. Share your accounts, etc., etc. We are here to discuss these encounters, these things that people have seen, sightings, and everything, and to discuss them in an open and group setting where people can actually understand. Look, this is normal. First of all, it may
Man.
seem a little weird.
The chat
But
has blown up
it's
because there
normal.
was one of them I marked like right out of the gate.
Oh my God, the chat
I
is off
found
the
it. Okay,
chart.
I found it. So when you're ready to go with encounters, Ron, you carry on, and then when you're ready, I will throw this.
Okay. Anyway, Adam's going to be talking to us about a few things. We got a little bit of question and answer kind of things going on. It's going to run pretty free, you know, as they always do. If you have questions, just put them in there and we'll star them. You know, if Adam's talking, and we'll get right back to you as soon as he shuts up. Sound about right?
before he gets going, because I'm going to lose
Go ahead.
this literally at the
Go
top.
ahead.
Bigfoot Littlefoot said, I had grays in my bedroom in the late 70s and got teleported. They used to sit Indian style and float around the house, outside and above the house.
Yep. That's honestly,
Yeah.
I've heard that multiple times. That is not that's not unusual. And speaking of grays, I just wanted to let you see it. I got it painted this week.
Oh,
So
I
it's
dig
looking even better now.
it. I dig it.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. So yeah, this will be
Go
it.
back and enjoy your farts, Men in Black.
Larry says that shirt is awesome and don't let them say any different. They can't handle the awesomeness.
It's not the off. It's just it's tacos, man.
It
Anytime
is.
there's tacos, it's awesome. So, Adam,
It's making me hungry, and I just finished eating before I came on here.
I know, but everybody wants tacos after you talk about tacos.
That's right.
That's how it
Exactly.
works.
Yeah.
It's just exactly like that. It's a
It's
psychological
loud
thing.
and it's making me hungry, and I shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's be a little serious for just about a half a second. Can you put that back up for me, Joe, or did you scroll away from it?
Oh, it's at the very, very, very top. So it's
okay.
like I can
Okay.
go back.
Well, either way, Adam, can you speak on that by any chance?
Well, I mean, I've read multiple accounts and I've heard multiple accounts where very similar things happen. I mean, we can state the obvious to begin with. And second of all, I mean, just
There it is.
you're just you're preaching to the choir here. I mean, I think we've all gone through this that are experiencers.
I think more people are experiencers than they even know. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It involves a wanting to know. It involves wanting to delve into that a little bit deeper. And it also involves actually following what we say all the time, the data.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's just, it is what it is. I think that what he's just said here, it reminds me of a few cases, honestly. And yeah, I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. It seems to be that there is a form of a teaching that's involved, wouldn't you say?
Well, I mean, it's, to say that there's a teaching is to really kind of underhand the whole action. I mean, if you talk to enough people, they'll start talking about the secret school that's involved. I mean, it's not just teaching, it's a graduation process. Yep. And I mean, to be honest, I would say Bigfoot Littlefoot here is someone that if he stopped having these encounters, it's not because they ended, it's because he just said, okay, I don't want to remember anymore. This is a lifelong adventure, if you like it or not, and it's up to you if you want to know more or not.
No, that is true. That is very true. I'll get a lot of people who they become kind of almost terrified because, I mean, let's face it, some of it is kind of terrifying. You are, you're losing time, literally. You're having these weird things happen to you that you can't explain. You think you're going crazy. You don't talk about it because you're pretty sure everyone is going to think you're crazy, and you may even think that yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not. That's the whole point, and that's what this show's for. I wanted to put this on here because we had a couple people who have kind of brought this up, and it's almost like the person who brings the subject up in a large crowd who's just looking for a little bit of validation. Well, if you're one of those people, this is your validation show. There are others who have had similar experiences. There are others who can probably say almost the exact same words that you're thinking because, it's happened. And we've talked about this before. Multiple times we have talked about this. It can't be imagined if it's happening to that many people. How is that happening? Right?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, if you have one small memory as a child, most likely, it's just going to just be a dam break whenever you figure it out. And if you choose to keep on remembering as a child, which, I feel like I just went, okay, I'm open to everything. And the universe answered, as a child. And yep.
That's
It's
it.
very normal to me too. Bigfoot,
Yeah, same
Littlefoot.
thing.
I mean, it's honestly, if I didn't have the paranormal stuff in my life would be pretty damn dull, and I wouldn't want it anymore.
Right. It makes things interesting. It really does, Um, I don't know, but for the folks who don't know, Adam,
Hmm.
can you walk us back to not so much your origin story, but how you became involved with this, or your first memory of it, or so?
I mean, my first memory is my very first memory, or at least, the one of the very first memories of my waking being, as a child. And I know I've come on here and talked about it, but
Hmm.
I mean, I was watching TV while I was maybe 2, at most 3, but my parents had a king size bed on a stand with a box frame and then mattress. And it was a standard stand, I mean, so I mean, we're looking at not even 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And I was watching TV, and my parents were reading. We've been avid readers since day one. I mean, I still read avidly. Mom still does too. And so I was watching TV because I was too young to read, like sit there and go through a book. You might be enjoying looking at it, but watching TV, and I had a sudden feeling like someone was in the house.
Hmm.
And it wasn't like, you heard some rattling downstairs. It was a feeling of, hello, we're here.
Right.
It was broad daylight, middle of the day.
Hmm.
I mean, the sun was up. I mean, I remember looking out the window, blue skies, all that fun stuff. And I decided, it's time to play hide and seek type deal. They'll find my parents, but let's see if they can't find me, you know. So I went to my parents' bed, which was the next room over. And, you had to grab onto the comforter, put your feet on the stand, and then push yourself up and, climb up on the bed. And I couldn't see over the bed. So when I finally made it up on the bed, you try waking your parents and they wouldn't budge. I mean, they wouldn't wake. I mean, they'd budge, but I mean, it was, dead weight.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I took what I could get off the comforter from them and wrapped myself up like a burrito and waited for whatever presence was there to come in. And just a few beats later, the comforter was pulled back from my face, and there was a gray, a shiny gray. I mean, it was emanating a kind of shimmering light from it. And
Hmm.
I heard in my head, it's time to play. And that's basically where the memory stops.
Wow.
So, and I mean, like, there are multiple times throughout my life where I continually remember these type of experiences, but it's been not only that, but I mean, like, I've had ghost, I've had
Yeah.
ESP
Yeah.
experience, which run on my mom's side of the family. And yes, cause that sloth monkey. Nice.
Sloth monkey. Yeah.
Um, so, it's been a lifelong adventure. My grandfather, who wrote one of the more popular books in the area, maybe not by now, but, like locally produced and written, Dennis Dietz, he wrote the first ghost book he wrote, Greenbrier Ghost and Other Ghost Stories. He dedicated the book to me as a child.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
my parents were always open to whatever I had to say. And what I had to say, what I experienced. And, you know, they never told me, oh, this is what it really was.
Right.
They just said, okay, thanks for telling us. And it helped keep my mind open and know that I had a safe space to go to. I didn't have to hold all this in, and I was blessed for that. In fact, I was watching the Ariel interview with some of the children in Africa, and you know they kept on talking about how no one would believe them. And
Yeah.
and I told my mom while we were eating dinner, you know, if your child comes to you and says, "I saw a ghost, I saw Bigfoot, I saw aliens, I saw a UFO," most of the time it's, yeah, you probably didn't really see that. But if you say Mr. Johnson down the street showed you his penis, they're going to go lock him up.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. This is true. So, you know, why do we believe children at one point and not at the other? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's true. What I would have to say is we see a lot of it that gets made fun of. And I think that's one of the biggest stigmas, you know, about the whole contact experience, you know, the abduction experiences. There's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of negative stigma around it. And people don't want that, you know. It's been made fun of for years, you know, these, and again, I'm not going to say that, you know, you shouldn't have some fun and laugh every now and again. Who cares? No one cares. What I care about is when you get a witness and you put them in front of a bunch of people and you literally say, you didn't see what you saw. This is all made up. They're delusional, you know, and you have no more proof of that than they have proof that it did happen.
Yeah.
Yet they're right and you're wrong. Hey, Ashley.
Actually, but I mean, I think that's where we can start to change now.
Yeah.
I think we got to be able to trust each other on stuff.
Well, this is true. This is 100% true. I think that that is a very, I don't know, it's not so much that it's important, it's vital. It's vital that people start, not really, I don't know, it's beyond trust, though. They need to just feel. They need to think about how others feel. And how does that make you feel? You know, that's a very important thing. And I think that that's where a lot of these experiencers, they know that. Almost all the experiencers that I've talked with are extremely almost empathic. They can feel others. They know, you know,
100%,
what to say,
yeah.
how to say it. You know, they are very powerful individuals when it comes to emotions. And I think that emotion is a key to a lot of this stuff.
Well, that's exactly 100% right. I mean, I'm not coming on here tonight or whenever I do to seek any kind of fame or anything. I mean,
Tell
I
that to
know
Brando.
yeah, but I mean, like I know Men in Black is on here making fun of everybody here, and I'm doing my own little jokes and stuff like that. We're here to have fun,
Exactly.
but we're also here to convey, hey, this is what I'm feeling. And to be honest, if we had telepathy, I think we would be burdened for the first bit.
Oh yeah.
How badly each other feels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I know personally when I was in high school, my mom almost pulled me out of the church I was going to because of certain experiences I was having that were causing me to have these. I was coming home from school and I would just lay on the couch and pass out because of the volume, just so loud. And at the time I couldn't shut anything up. I didn't know how. It was all new, and so it was just like everything all at once at like volume 11, and yeah.
Yeah, I have to watch the crowds I'm around because I just, I soak it up like a sponge.
Well, yeah, you absorb the energy, man. You know, that's.
one of the things that, like what you were saying, Adam, one of the things that we tried to do here was create a community where we could come have these discussions seriously, but also have fun and goof off and be silly and enjoy the other human aspects of this, because otherwise it's like it can get real heavy.
Oh yeah.
And it's good to have an outlet, and be able to also have fun and be comfortable enough to have fun with those same people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if you watch these cop shows, like, where they're serious all the time, and bye, Ron.
And Ron has been taken by the Men in Black.
Yeah, but I mean, if you would watch these shows and they're serious all the time, they don't blow off steam.
Yeah,
they're going to end at the at the end of it, they're going to end up having like a bad addiction, blow their brains out or something like that. I mean, but yeah, I'm just trying to carry you while you check on Ron.
Let you guys know, Facebook just went down on the live side. I don't know about actual, but we may lose a bunch of people here. If you are on another network, jump over on the YouTube. We're still going over here for right now, but we did lose the Facebook feed just now with a message that said that they were investigating. Facebook is
investigating.
Facebook is up, but it is apparently not capable of live as of right now.
So one of their servers just took a dump.
Yeah, something happened. So breaking news. Yeah, right. Very strange. Either way, carry on.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we have fun here. I mean, Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey has always been fun, and making it rain and all the other stuff. And, I think it's been a great source of way to get people to get involved monetarily, likes and share, especially. I mean,
yeah,
the latest Mothman bunker is really fun, and to continually come up with new stuff. I know Sony did away with my theme song, but
yeah,
but it's
okay. You have a new
one. How long has that been? 2 months, and we still.
I think 2 months. Yeah, it's pushing 2 months now.
It's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, we kind of figured. You're tired of me, Ron. I get it. It's okay.
That's it. What is interesting? You touched upon building the community kind of thing, and that is what we're doing. That's the whole point. We are trying to do exactly that. We got a Facebook user over that says they can see us just fine.
Okay, good.
And it's in sync with YouTube. Okay, thank you so much. And that is from that's live 9/19. So they must have investigated it and fixed it. So go Facebook. Good job.
So speaking of the community, do you want to hear a couple of the accounts from them?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear.
No, we don't want to hear anything. We want dead air right now.
So Donna Ho is up at deck first and said, I had a friend who visited me every night when I was a little kid, and he had a big almond eyes and longer than normal ears. So I thought he was a crusader rabbit.
Oh, wow.
He took me places and taught me things. My mother was seriously spooked by the things I would tell her, and she said that I couldn't have known the things that I told her.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the energy games, right, Adam? That's one of the things that they'll do. That's where they teach you how to pass energy or to throw energy balls, etc. It's in multiple ways, how to levitate things, how to manipulate energy.
They never taught me how to throw energy balls because they knew that
not
I
that
would one day
no.
form the Kamehameha wave.
No, not like that. Not like that. Not like that. But that is a common theme.
Beth says the key is to be open and not be afraid to let things happen.
Well, that's true. And you can do that, but look at what you have that's fighting you at the time. You've got all these people who are coming out trying to tell you it's this or that. They know exactly what it is. Folks, we don't know exactly what it is. All I can tell you is if it wanted us gone, we would be gone. That's what I can tell you. That's a fact.
Yeah.
It does not. At least what we've
Well,
come into contact with doesn't.
and whenever it's bad, our parents took us to the doctor whenever we were young. We take a sick dog to the vet.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
because it's bad. I mean, I'm not trying to be complicit or anything. I'm just saying we're only this big.
Yep.
While something else is vast.
Oh, absolutely.
So Anita brought up that I grew up with paranormal as an everyday thing. I had a spirit move in when I was little, psychic as far back as I can remember, and just weird stuff daily. It's just how it is.
It's just how it is. Yeah, exactly.
The more
Some
and
of
more
us-
I hear Anita talk, the more and more I think we're twins. Just, you know.
Beth says if you resist some experiences, they can be not so present. I found that for most experiences I have can be present as long as I perceive them as such. Pleasant, not
Pleasant. Yeah.
present.
Pleasant.
Yeah, pleasant.
Autocorrect. You got to love
Yeah.
it.
Now, Donna goes back and says, as an adult, I have been visited many times, but I don't think it was from the same rabbit.
There you go.
Bigfoot Littlefoot says only 15% of the population has Rh negative blood. 85% of all abductees have Rh negative blood. Interesting.
Mhm.
It just depends on your field of gather, too.
Yeah. Terry McCullough once saw what I could only describe as a pterodactyl when I was young. By the time I ran into the house to get my dad, it was gone. Nobody believed me.
100% believe you.
I had that same thing happen, and that was the first weird thing that I ever told Ron about.
That's right.
When we were in the pet store, I told him about the
100%.
pterodactyl that literally flew over my head close enough to where if it wanted to, it could have lowered its feet and knocked my hat off.
And since then, we've heard it from so many people. It's not even funny. I've actually seen video of, of someone reacting to one of these things. It's amazing. These happen. We don't know what they are, but they do happen. And a lot of times, like I've said multiple times, I think that it's not physically what we think it, what we're perceiving it and what it is are a completely different thing. That's what I think.
The book, sorry.
What book was it?
Bleed Through. Patricia Copley O'Connell.
Uh-huh.
It was originally investigated by MUFON, by Hill's niece. And they had a section where, the guy bought an airfield and he was an air mechanic, aviator, all that fun stuff. And he and his mother were, while these experiences were going on, they went out to the airfield and half of the airfield was there. And then the other bit of it was mastodons grazing.
Oh, wow.
So, that throwback to, it's almost like a portal.
It's really similar to the white things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what I'm getting at.
With what Michael had shared with us a couple weeks ago.
Well, and I threw that synchronicity out there tonight, just because, like you were just talking about that, because you have them and you just don't know where they're coming from. And I try to look at it as, for synchronicities, you don't look a gift owl in the beak.
That's a good point, Adam. That's a good point, Adam.
So Angie brings up that some people will accuse you of or say you are mentally ill if you have experiences. And
that's so true, Angie. And you know what I say to them today? I have to do this, Joe. Hold on your thoughts, because this is for those people who always said that stuff, and it's time for payback. So here's the truth of the matter. I got called weird. I got called crazy. I got called this and that, space cadet. That's one of them, space cadet. That was good. There was a few other things. Hey, guys, made a business out of it. Made a community, got a whole bunch of other weirder people, and we're doing fine. Thanks for thinking about us back then.
Yeah.
And
I had
you
my
know,
own
like,
mental issues, but those are given to me by people
Yeah, exactly. That's
or
the
a
point.
person. I would say a person.
There you go.
part of this though, like it started in my based off what I've gathered over the years is that this started because when you're doing your due diligence and research, especially with paranormal investigation like ghosts and hauntings and such, if the individual is hearing voices, it's on the questionnaire. It's on it's part of our protocols as well to ask, have you sought, any kind of mental health help? Has there been any kind of diagnoses in your family in the past? Blah, 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 blah. Because those things do need to be addressed. They need to be looked at, but it has become a thing where like, it's just a blanket and they throw it out there. It's like, oh, well, you're schizophrenic or you're this or this or that. But it does to a degree have a place where it needs to be looked at. Like some of these things could be, it doesn't mean that they all are. It doesn't make experiences any less significant because they feel real. Whether it is something that is in your head or something that's actually really, really happening, these things could, it's one of those double-edged swords because you do have to look at that aspect sometimes. And, it's not always a comfortable question to ask. But it has to be done because, there are times where, we have had experiences with individuals who have invited us or requested us multiple times to come out and do a thing. And there's a lot of tells,
Yeah, there's tells, and there's
Oh, I
tells
mean,
on
you
both
know,
sides of this coin as well.
So it's that double-edged sword. And you don't want to label somebody as that. That's not your job. You're not a doctor. You don't have a medical license. You can't go out and just tell somebody they're mentally ill. That's not good. You don't have the right or the authority to say such. But at times when some of these things are coming up, you have to ask the question.
oh, I mean, my depression, PTSD, and anxiety go back to a person that has been medically documented.
Pat says psychosis does need to be ruled out, but seeing things does not make you mentally ill necessarily. It's exactly right.
Exactly. Yeah. There are tells, like you said, and those tells work both ways.
They do.
I know that experiencers can look at other experiencers and actually there's keywords. There's keywords, there's key movements. There's something that all of us pick up on. And we know that person has experienced this. They are not making it up because some of this stuff is frankly not in books. It's not in movies. It's stuff that we know. And instant friendship usually results in that. And
yeah, it's called trauma bonding.
There's case right over there. I mean, Adam, I didn't know Adam, a year ago, not. Yeah. And as soon as about 2 years, yeah, whatever. But the point is, you said a few words, we had a few conversations, and all of a sudden it's like either A, he's reading my mind, and that's a scary thing because you don't want to go there, or he's experienced some of this stuff. And how is that even possible?
Yeah.
And then the synchronicities will come. And when the synchronicities come, it's like something's beating you over the head and saying, look, how much more proof do you need? Because I can make this really, really difficult for you to process if I have to. And literally, it can be that way. You get shown, what is the Grateful Dead? You get shown the light, if you look at it right, right? I mean, that's the truth. It's the same thing. Let's get caught up with some of these people.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going through that. I've been popping them up while you guys have been talking. So Angie saw Pegasus. Anita saw unicorns when she was younger.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Michael said that he'd love to
Keep
hear
going.
us have a conversation with, people who talk about the development of trauma after these kind of events. And like,
Mhm.
we do that already. We just haven't done that on the podcast.
I mean, trauma does come from
Yeah.
these encounters.
It's
is
one of those things
inevitable.
where I'm actually, I went through counseling classes and all that stuff when I was a pastor in ministry. And so I'm actually able to talk to people and do those kind of things with to a professional-ish degree. Like, it depends on how much professionalism people view ministry certificates. But they, I worked with people and helped them through their trauma. And that's how, when we do things with witnesses here with the collective, it's something that I actively do. If we recognize a trauma that's there, we work the person through it as best as we can, and allow them to just offload all the burden that they're willing to offload, and then work them through how to get back to a sense of normalcy. And Beth is a prime example of that.
Oh, do you want to hear an experience I've never told anyone?
Go for it.
Of course. Okay.
You're in a good
We'll
place.
go for it then.
Go for it.
One night I woke up and there was somebody to my back, and it was like they were working on me. And I remember seeing blue flashes. Oh, I was just reading that.
Did you see that?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
See?
that's how it goes. If
Yeah.
you just
That creates the trauma, right? I mean,
Yep,
I'm not going to
that
derail
creates a
you.
trauma.
I don't want to derail you because I want to hear the story.
No, I
But
mean, like
that
that-
is what creates the trauma. It's not
absolutely.
it's not the event as much as it is the people who are going to react to the event, or you think are going to react to the event. I mean,
And that's where I was so blessed,
Yeah.
is because I had parents, and my parents, but I mean, they would listen to you, and that's they would just tell me, okay, that's great, or whatever needed to be said, and I got it off my chest, and I was able to live my life. Now, if I would have had parents that would have beat me or told me, just something that's just as bad, shut up, you little liar, or something like that,
Yeah.
I'd probably be a completely different person, and but it made me a con person.
put that one back up just now, right before Tony. Who was that? Not Ashley. The next one. There's another one. Where was that? Bigfoot, Littlefoot. Yeah, that one. See that? That right there. Out of the past 46 years of openly talking about UFOs, I've maybe had 2 or 3 people say that, what were you smoking? Most were really open to the idea. Yes, absolutely, Bigfoot. And that's the same finding that most of us do find. Once we do talk, more people are okay with it. I mean, look at what I did. I mean, I kept quiet about my encounters forever, only to be told, that's okay. I've had a couple people, question it. They've been like, "Are you sure that happened?" Well, I mean, I'm as sure as you're sure you got up this morning, but I couldn't tell you exactly what it was,
Sure.
And
Well, remember, we were talking at the Bigfoot workshop, and
exactly.
we had the spectral analyzer, and it went to 1.6
Yeah,
because we were talking about abductions.
which was one of the craziest things that, I mean, and it's one of those kind of things. It's like I said, what do I have to do to make this weirder for you? And I will, until you accept what's happening right here. That's kind of how this seems to go.
So Larry brought up, I had a customer at the shop today and she saw my Bigfoot hat and went, "He is real." Then goes on to say, "But I can't figure out what the damn lights in the woods are."
Well, you don't chase them. That's what I can tell you.
You have her get a hold of us, Larry. Beth says I took it as it's time for me to find out why or what is really out there instead of letting my fear get to me. It's because of you all that I'm able to do this.
That's a prime example.
Bigfoot Littlefoot says, Adam, did they rub an instrument down your spine?
Oh yeah. That's what it's going to be getting into.
Pat says, having someone deny you lived experiences usually creates a re-traumatization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to pay attention to what just happened. If none of you paid attention to what just happened, something very, very important just happened. We had a question because Adam started to tell a story and he didn't get the full story out. He only said a couple of words. Yet we had someone else literally just finish the story in their own way. They know what he's going to say because either A, they're reading his mind, and I can promise you they're not reading his mind because this is not a circle. Okay. And you'll know what I mean by that if you go back and scroll. But yeah, Linda, some people don't believe me about my Mothman encounter, so I told them all the stuff that has happened to me for decades. Linda, the day that you told me about your encounter, I knew you were telling the truth simply because of some of the more strange aspects of it. It's those aspects of it that scare people away because they want to believe in this cryptid. They want to believe in this physical thing that they can touch. That's not what this was, in my opinion.
Also, I want to ask Linda if it's okay if I reach out to her later. Someone wants to ask her some questions, if that's okay.
Anita said it hurts when you trust someone with an experience and then they diminish it or tell you it didn't or couldn't happen.
Right.
It does.
Oh, that's anything. But yeah, it really hurts.
Bigfoot Littlefoot says over the decades, it was neat to see the general public become more open to the weird. It really has
absolutely.
And we've addressed that. God, it felt like almost every other show for the last couple of years.
It's taken a while.
Michael says, thank God for parents who listen to their children in that sense. My mom and dad were the same way. I never had experiences, but my siblings did. And they always listened and took their feelings serious.
Great, Michael.
Yep.
My mom was a witness to so much strangeness that she let us speak our mind whenever we needed.
Hey.
That's good.
That's a good thing.
Linda says, absolutely.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you,
Ashley,
Tommy.
I knew Linda's story was true right away before she even said anything. It's like something in me recognized something in her.
That's the thing, Ashley.
Tommy rolling in, keeping it free.
Mr. Swagger.
Tommy making it rain.
Making it rain. How about the sound of meatballs hitting the ground? See, that's what I hear in my head is the
I had to go for the ASMR tonight, you know. Just
Beth said, thank you, Tommy. You're awesome. We appreciate you, brother. And guys, wait. Those of you coming to the workshop, just wait till you see the drawing prizes that he has created for you guys to win. Holy crap. They're awesome.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Again, real quick before we jump back into this, because I want Adam to finish that story. I want to thank everybody who has made it possible for us to be able to have this workshop, to be able to get some of this really cool equipment that we're going to bring out to this workshop for you guys to get your hands on and get to actually experience. And I'd like to thank my guinea pigs for being at the workshop and allowing us to document, I guess, the poking of the bear, as Travis would say.
well, if you're a guinea pig, can you still be put into the raffle?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll let us.
Or
yeah, won't matter. Anyway,
so the drawing is predetermined, then you're saying?
no, No, I'm just saying that
I'm just giving you a hard time.
if the if the experiment works, you may not be there to claim your prize.
That could be the ultimate prize, being the guinea pig.
Men in Black says, stop encouraging this disinformation broadcast, primates.
Yeah, everybody hit your like, share, and subscribe to Follow Men in Black as always, please.
Beth says, for real, y'all don't chase orbs. I'm
Mhm.
just that one person that has a problem not listening, nor do I follow directions when I see
Right.
something I may never see again.
I don't know.
I don't blame you.
It's not necessarily
Literally the only reason I didn't chase the orb that I saw was because I knew the grade of the mountain on the other side where it went down. And I knew that if I went over that way, I wasn't coming back. Like I mean, they'd have to drag me back up. My legs and arms would be broken.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally what happens to people when they chase orbs.
Yeah.
Not only like the complete disintegration, but also just like blindly being led over a cliff. It's almost like they use it to like Wile E. Coyote people just to get some laughs.
And that's what really, seriously, that's what would have happened. Like Ron's seen that gradient on the hillside.
Oh, it's a drop off. You're not.
It's like 300 feet. And it's not a straight down drop, but it's at a steep enough angle to where if you fall, you're not stopping.
Yeah. No, I mean, it wouldn't have been just also. I mean, we love how hard-headed you are, Joe. But it wouldn't have last,
Pat says, I need to know what Mothman's wings feel like. Pat's over here wanting to pet everything. Pat is usually this person who's like a cat and does it. He's like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. But tonight he's like, I want to touch everything.
Did he take some Molly tonight?
Right.
I know what happened. Someone may have slipped him,
I have a nice fuzzy,
what's going on,
fuzzy blanket here that he could,
right,
check out.
Anyway, Adam.
Yes.
Continue with your story, please.
So, I woke up one time in my mid-teens, and I can probably say I was 14 to 15 due to the book I was reading at the time. Oh, Tom.
What you got?
Colin Tom, Beth just sent us videos, guys. I wish to God we could show you right now, but she just sent videos from like now of orbs.
Yeah, it's been happening. I know,
but like now.
That's because I'm here. No,
we'll blame Adam.
Intention does have everything to do with it, and that is, I mean, am I being? I mean, if Whoopi Goldberg can go on The View and say aliens are real and they've been here for a long time and speak on some level of authority and get people to listen, am I in the right to say what I just said? That intention has something to do with this, and I'm basing that not on reading it out of a book,
but off of experience with Glenn and
everything that we've seen, years of data.
And I've come on here in a certain state of mind. I took a moment to meditate beforehand and trying to maintain it throughout.
Yeah,
so, to pass it on to you all.
And the folks who didn't get to see Adam at the talk,
Terry's been full of gold today.
What?
He's come up with another new Animal Planet TV show, Petting.
I like that, Terry.
So it's Petting Bigfoot and now Petting Mothman.
I like that. Petting
Mothman. Ron does have the costume, so he could go hang out with Pat and let him pet him.
That could do it.
I mean, whatever.
I think we have ourselves a new series and video. Watching Pat pet Mothman.
Follow orbs wherever they may go. There isn't a mountain so high. There isn't an ocean so deep to keep me away. All right. Anyway, Adam, continue, please.
Now you can finish. I'm not going to open Facebook messages anymore.
Whatever, go for it. I don't care. I think by this point it isn't supposed to be told. So
I know, that's if it happens one more time, don't tell the story. That's what I've learned. Yeah.
Okay. We'll give it 5 seconds. I'm going to take a drink of
Okay.
my water here, and we'll see what happens in the next 5 seconds. Okay. So, okay, I was in my mid-teens, waiting for Joe to time out.
Yeah,
again.
right. Long ago in a galaxy far, far away, Adam Good was in his teens.
No, but I mean, I was in my teens, and I was reading a series that my cousin had given me, Ben Bova's Orion series, and I went through them all that summer. I mean, like one couple of the books I read in a day. You know, I just sat there and read them all. But a night I was there, and I woke up midnight. You know, around mid morning. You know, at like 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and there was presence in my room, and I was facing my closet, and I could see a blue light flashing and something being worked on my spine. And with the blue light flashing and stuff, I wanted to turn over and see what it was, and I heard a voice, you know, no, don't roll over. We're still working. And, you know, it was kind of like a paralysis, but I lay there and watched the lights, and after you kind of got bored of watching them flash and stuff like that, I was just like, well, I mean, I'm just laying here. I can't roll over. I can turn my head, I can move my arms, I can move my legs, but I can't get out of this position. Can I at least read my book by the blue light? And it was like, yeah, go for it. So I sat there and read for a while until it was done. And then once it was done, I marked a page, which I'm not one to um, mark books or fold the pages. I mean, you know, I'm just like a purist where it's like you put in a bookmark, and I always had like a paper bookmark or something, you know, that you would mark books with. And I marked the inside of the book with an indentation with my fingernail, a certain pattern that I keep to myself, and I did the same with my bookmark. And then once it was done, and I did that, I promptly went to sleep and woke up the next day, and I could see the indentations, and I remembered the event.
Wow.
So Donna says the voice saying "Don't roll over." That resonates with me.
Mm-hmm. Does me too.
How many of you folks out there are catching on to any of this? I mean, that's the whole point. Does any of this ring like some spot inside of you? I'll give you an example. Like I was painting the gray over there earlier, and I was just, and I've talked to Adam about this. Like, if you catch it out of the corner of your eye, it's like, whoa, like there's something there, and that's not an imagination kind of thing. There's something there you can't quite put your finger on. And when you hear some of these accounts, when you hear some of these words that come from these experiencers, there's something that'll resonate, and you don't know why. You have no idea what caused that feeling or what caused that emotional response to a particular word or sight. But how many of you doing it right now? Larry,
Thank you,
bless
Larry.
you, my friend. So I'm just gonna put that right there for a second.
Yeah, and then did you see this?
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
I got one for you there, Donna. I got one there for you.
So, Donna, you weren't alone. A vast majority of the country shared your plight, because the original book, once it was released, they bookstores wound up turning it face down, and where you could only either see the spine or the back of the book.
Didn't they put it in a different jacket at one time too?
Well, that was what happened after the initial
I don't
release.
know.
They very rapidly came out with a second jacket that was less, creepy. And then later in the last, I think 15 years or so, it's like 10 or 15 years, they put out the original cover again.
Whitley got the rights back to the book recently and readapted the painting.
Okay, that's what it was.
And that's been in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
In the past 15, they put on a different cover because rights, were in between the publisher and the creator of the artwork, which were with Whitley. Mm-hmm. And then before that, they were putting on the communion cover.
Yeah.
But the aversion was huge.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have an aversion until much later in life. But I remember, like I told you, the experience of my childhood earlier. Mm-hmm. That was probably like 83. The book came out in 87.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going into a Walden bookstore with my mom. And I saw it on they had the wall on the side that said, it had all the New York Times bestsellers. And one of them at the time was Communion. And I remember looking at it and going, "Hey, Mom, why is my friend on the book cover?"
Oh, wow.
And I will say, with the republication of the artwork on Communion, Whitley has added a little extra definition to the eyes. If you look close.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's more shading on the artwork all around. Mm-hmm. You get more of a depth to the
but
painting.
The eye has a pupil now, which are supposed to be the regular eyes behind it, which is really awesome.
Yep.
And Pat, okay. I saw your question earlier. Honestly, you can come out of just about anything. People come out of operations because there isn't enough gas put into the system. People will come out of hypnosis halfway through. And even during hypnosis, a lot of people will be trying to relive one event and go to a completely different one, even past life regression. And I don't know if it was so much, did they let me? Or once I was out, they saw that I was being okay, just let me stay, since I was being cool with it.
What's going on, Brian? Good to have you. Thanks for stopping by.
Welcome. You folks over there in Instagram land. I see we still have some viewers over there.
Octopus,
remember, guys,
I literally woke up during my wisdom teeth removal. It sucked. Do not recommend. Yeah, it's terrible. Like I am one of the people that anesthetics do not work on that great. So they basically have to treat me like an elephant. And I woke up like 3/4 of the way through my wisdom teeth extraction, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Yeah.
You folks over there do remember that the show is live only and on Instagram over there. And once it ends, but you can always catch the replay if you happen to come in late and want to see the rest of the show. It is archived over on our YouTube channel at Wild and Weird WV. So come on over there and, catch what you missed if you missed anything.
So why are you, what's the reason, Anita, your friend gave you?
So he says, I have a distrust of grays. My best friend gave me good reasons later in life to be wary of them.
You hear that a lot from some people. Honestly, I've got no, I've absolutely got no ill feelings toward whatever they are. And honestly, you wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for whatever they were. At least we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Anita said she'll message you.
But they're not all
Night,
gray,
Beth.
guys. That's the other thing you have to remember. It's not all gray.
Donna says, that's it. I went out of the store full of weird fear, but at the same time, I wanted to touch it. I went on with my shopping, but kept alternating going back to it when shopping.
That's the emotional reaction that I'm talking about. That is key toward what I think what we would call contact. Emotional connection is very key to the contact experience, in my opinion. Yes.
Linda says she's awake during all procedures. They can't knock her out.
Oh, Linda.
Yeah, so like lidocaine and all that stuff, like shots, that doesn't work on me. But you can hit me right. If you get me with enough epinephrine, you'll make me pass out, which is normally what they give you to like bring you out of stuff.
Or just don't let him eat all day.
That'll do it
too. He'll go through this anger phase, but after that, he's out.
Yeah, I get real mean for a little bit, but then
the headache starts, and then he's out. So it's all good.
Just strap him to a table, you know.
So with a lot of these experiences, you know, I want to look at this stuff kind of like a big picture sort of way right now. When experiencers have said experience, you've really got a grab bag.
Oh, Anita just clarified something here for you guys. She's talking about the little guys, the little creepy ones.
The small grays she doesn't like. The other aliens don't bug her. So the you get a grab bag of responses. You know, you have some people who it was the most traumatic experience of their life to date. You have some people that it was like, you know, light and love and happiness and, you know, rainbows and butterflies. What is the difference? Because like I don't know that I've had like an encounter similar to like what you and Ron have had with non-human intelligence, but there have been some other really bizarre things that lead me to believe that there's a possibility. Like there's been things where I've not been in this dimension a few times, and my wife was present for one of those when I came back, and it was real weird.
Yeah.
And then a male person was present for the other one, and that was again real weird. But I don't know what happened during those. I have no recollection. So like I'm I guess like neutral to the experience, but you know, there are people there's not very many people who are on that middle ground neutrality. It's either yin or yang.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of fear, and the fear comes from either ourselves and the unknown, because we fear the unknown. It's natural. It's part of how we are. It's what we do. It's the animal instinct. It's not the thing that what?
Octopus says, what's with us alien people being anesthetic proof? Because I've never met so many other people who have had the same problem.
But it's fear, and the fear is what drives that. You have to get above the fear. You're saying that, you know, it's for these people, it's peace and blah, blah. That's not the case always. And that usually comes later. It's almost like your typical, it's almost like the acceptance. You go through this phase, these phases. You're angry, you're depressed, and then everything starts to make sense. And then all of a sudden the door opens up and you're like, oh, that's what it was about. And it's, like I said, it's almost like a learning experience. And does that make sense, Adam? Anything?
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like, if you look at Whitley Strieber's case, I mean, like, he was...
Oh, yeah. Good point.
The first one he went through, but, you know, that he really remembered, the one that led to everything. I mean, he'd been abducted before, But like the one that was on December 26th, he went into it with absolute fear and ended up being raped
Yeah.
in the process, and having, with the rape came extraction of sexual fluids, and came out scarred to this day because of that. I mean, he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "It looks like you've been raped."
Yeah, right. He did.
And he was.
Mm-hmm.
And probing is not a joke, in my opinion. But
No.
later on, he started to accept, and he even like forced, during paralysis, a grin on his face to the visitors. And that's when everything started to change and become an educational process, more working with,
Yeah.
more of a, okay, you're helping out, so we'll help out, coming to a common ground. And I think,
Yeah.
like when I was in my teens, when I was talking about my back being worked on, much like that, as long as I was just like, okay, well, what can I do? If you're going to be helpful, I mean, like, they're in control,
That's the
at least
key.
to an extent. And I mean, like, the more you fight, the more you have to restrain. I mean,
Right. I
if
used
someone's taken down by the police and they're struggling, you might get a baton, get shot, get a
Yeah.
knee put on your neck,
Yeah,
get a
right.
taser, but
I
you're
used
still
to
going to
use
end up in the back of the cruiser.
Right. I used to use the analogy because I would always get asked the question back in the day. Well, they can't be trusted. They can't be good. Nothing like this could be good. They're doing these terrible things, and I would always look at it through the lens of the anthropologist. And it's, what do you really think that you know? We go out and we tag these animals. What do you think these animals are thinking? It's the
Hmm.
same thing. You go to a bear den. Are you going to go in there and say, "Hey, bear"? No, you're not going to do that. But what if you have to go and you have to get readings on that bear? What if your job depends on you getting readings on that bear?
Hmm.
What do you got to do? You're going to go in there, and while it's awake and try to stick a tag on it, that's not going to end so well, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. And so I think it's basically, the judgment falls upon what side you're on. And
Hmm.
by that, it's easy for us on the outside of this to say, oh, they're doing these terrible things. When we don't have evidence to say that, by the way, there's really no evidence that says that. I mean, there's very minimal accounts of anything that's really terrible, when the majority of it is usually just, like you said, examinations, etc. Now, I'll just flat out tell you, I don't remember any of that. My experiences center around a teaching aspect and around these weird little games
Hmm.
and these test scenarios that I had to run over and over and over again. And they were, um, for lack of a better word, apocalyptic in nature.
Oh, a lot of them are also ethical, like
Yeah.
extreme ethics. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just like you get a dollar. What you found
Yeah.
a dollar. What do you do with it? It's like, okay, it's the you have 5 people on one track and one on another, and train's just going to come.
Yeah.
What you going to do?
And if you don't do it right, guess what? You get to do it again.
Hmm.
And you got to do it again. And you got to do it again. And until you get it right. And that's probably an analogy for something else, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think so too.
and like with the energy too. Do you ever
Yeah.
find yourself trying to push the pencil across a counter or anything like that?
Exactly.
So Crackway said, "Is anyone missing a chunk of flesh behind their thigh?" Ron and I worked a case
Huh.
before we handed it over to Earl Gray's. The experiencer had multiple, and these were removals of pieces of arm, leg, Like, and there wasn't any scars. They're like big enough for me to put my thumb into, and I did. And because he requested me to. He's like, you have to feel it. You have to. I didn't have a choice, and because I didn't want to, but then I did, and it was weird. But so it was, yeah, it was weird, man. So, and these were on the divot, the chunk that was missing was on his thigh, and it was really, really, really odd. Because there's no scars around it. There's no the doctors, he had seen multiple doctors and they couldn't explain it. Very, very odd. So Donna Ho says, in 2018, I had a thing removed from my knee. The surgeon wouldn't tell me what it was. I had it as far back as I could remember. Over the years, calcium built up around it until the calcium was built up and removed. There was also, it was as big as a potato. Holy cow.
Yeah, keep reading.
Trackway said that there was a BB that was
keep reading
in
that.
the
Keep
earlobe.
reading that. Read the potato
Yeah,
thing.
wow.
Did you read the potato thing?
Yes, I read it out loud.
Did you?
Not
the
that-
last
not that-
part?
Yeah.
The
It was as big as a
radiologist said
potato and had to
whatever
be
it was.
removed. The radiologist said whatever was inside was very
radioactive.
radioactive.
Yeah, radioactive.
The then Beth says, I have a birthmark on my right inner thigh. Larry says, yes, inner thigh. Angie, I have a weird mark on the inside of my knee. Donna says it was as big as potatoes and had to, oh yeah, I already read that bit.
Yeah, you got that.
Octopus, whoa, guys, so many connections in this chat. Yeah, there really are.
That's the whole point of doing this episode.
I got quite a few scars and one even on my left ear here.
Donna says, I asked the surgeon if he could tell me what the object inside the calcium buildup was, and he said no.
No.
Give that back to me.
Right.
Mine.
Finding the Trackway says, I don't know, maybe a little scoop talking about his piece that's missing.
It's the scoop mark. That's common. And we saw that with the witness that we were talking about as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Multiple scoop marks.
Multiple. Like they were like,
I've never seen
almost like he
that.
got hit with a melon baller.
If I had to guess, and this is true, we hear the stories of the negative encounters. If I had to guess, was that one? I would probably put that into that category. Now, why it was negative per se, possibly because of the individual's, I should say, attitude, almost like demanding this phenomena reveal itself, demanding answer. You're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that. You get what you get.
Tommy says, not, where'd it go? Tommy said, whatever object I took from my thigh, it still hasn't healed over. It's still a hole in my leg.
Yeah.
I remember
then,
that.
Mothman 46. I saw
that.
old girl at Walmart wearing Daisy Dukes and oh God. Then,
please forgive me. That's funny.
Yeah. You're absolved. Angie says, well, if you want to talk about scars, I have crazy scars on my arm no one can ever adequately explain.
Yeah.
Larry says, so far, if I've had these experiences, I don't remember anything negative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Literally, the negativity comes from other people, as far as I'm concerned. I think that's where and we put it on ourselves as well. Like we can create this wall that we can't say anything because people are going to think we're crazy, but it's just the opposite. You see, that's the crazy thing. We become our own worst enemy in this.
I mean, I think also the negativity comes from ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
How you deal with things.
Absolutely.
Could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Donna says the surgeon literally snapped no, like he didn't even want to talk about it.
Oh, wow.
Doctors have a hard time with these type of things. I have a
Yeah.
friend that he had his arm x-rayed for an event, and the surgeon asked him, "When did you break your bone?"
That one.
And well, not surgeon, the x-ray technician. He was like, "I never broke my bone." And the x-ray technician scolded him for a good while about, just, why are you lying to me?
You see that, right? Bigfoot. Did it just
Yeah, I
disappear
snapped
one?
that one up a second ago.
Did it just?
Sounds like Whitley.
Yeah. Did it just disappear one day?
It is a
It's fun whenever they move around.
it is a
You don't
really
feel
strange
anything, but you feel
phenomenon.
something.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But it's so much more than just about, as these folks are trying to, uh, I guess, try to explain this, aliens. It's so much more than just about that. It's about the potential that all humanity has, in my opinion. This is actually a way, if you can go from some of these experiences and learn from them, these people turn out to be some of the best people you'll ever meet. They are more open-minded. They are more empathic. They are more forgiving. They see the world in a completely different way. And I don't think that there's anything bad about that. I don't think there's one shred of badness about that. And that's why I can't ever get on the train that, oh, this is a negative thing, that these are evil or they're demons or whatever you want to call them.
Or at least not all of them anyway.
No. No. I don't know what they are, and I also believe, they have been here for a very long time.
Terrestrials.
Sure. Why not?
Ultra-terrestrials, whatever you want to say.
I've always said, humans are probably the real aliens, so makes perfect sense to me.
Ashley said in one of my cases they had implants and scans proving the implants. She passed away kind of recently, and you can't just go ask the family for the extra hardware,
Yep.
I would. I'm like, she wanted me to have these. Linda said, when I went through the airport x-ray, I was pulled aside. The whole shoulders and back area lit up and set off their machine.
I always have issues with metal detectors. It never fails. Although I don't believe that the newer generations are metal anymore. So you're probably going to be okay.
Silicon.
Yeah. Something.
Bigfoot Littlefoot said the area got infected like a zit and he popped it out at a Reds game. So whatever it was is on the ground at the Reds Stadium.
Oh, wow.
It's over at Three Rivers Stadium.
Oh, wow. Well,
most of the time when our implants do come out like that, you actually just you have this aversion where you're like, gotta get rid of it. And then you get rid of it and you go, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's true. That's 100% true.
So especially at a Reds game, at which my mom almost burned down the Red Stadium back whenever I was conceived.
Gosh. What?
Yeah.
What?
Are you talking about me or
you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was the night that I was conceived. My parents were at a Cincinnati Reds game with another couple. My mom was, as she put it, drunk on Heineken and smoking coal cigarettes. And the two, the Reds Stadium kind of caught on fire. It was the big red machine.
Oh, wow.
But then I was conceived later that night.
Oh, well, there's a plus.
Or minus.
Maybe.
Depends on who you talk to.
You may
Men in Black, I'm sure it's a big old minus.
Probably. You may have saved Red Stadium, man. I don't know.
Well, the way I look at it is that's whenever voice came, soon after that, whenever a voice came to my mom and said that She's pregnant. You're pregnant now, which my mom was deemed to be barren before that.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I was a miracle child.
That is amazing. Absolutely believable. So what we've shown here tonight is that, and you saw it, all the hands went up in the room, so to speak. Right. And that says a lot to me. That says a whole lot to me. It tells me that not only are we not alone, that we are also to the point to where we frankly don't care anymore. And we're okay talking about this. And I think that that's what the whole purpose of this is, the validation, multiple validations across multiple fronts, multiple people, multiple cultures, and trying to, understand this. It's part of us. It's the rest of the human story.
Yep. And was this whenever, Donna, was this whenever your implant was coming on? Do your ears ever get red?
Donna said, one afternoon I heard the sound of a bee getting louder and louder, and then it flew right into my ear. But my husband checked and checked. And there was nothing in there. I found out the next day I wasn't the only one who had that happen. A friend 20 miles away had the exact same thing happen to her at the same time.
So think about this, Donna. I want you to think about this. There was several people here tonight who had the same kind of experiences at almost the exact multiple times. Multiple orbs were seen in separate locations tonight while we were talking about something very similar. Those are the kind of synchronicities that even Mike Clellan would say, well, that's a very interesting, what did he say? Plot.
Yeah. Plot.
That's an interesting plot. If I was writing this out into a book form,
yeah,
I would put that in there as a very interesting plot line to make the reader say, what does that mean? And I think that that's what we are seeing. How do you explain that? You can't explain that. Is it just coincidence? I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's a coincidence at all.
Donna Ho was answering Adam and said, no, the bee thing was a few months after I had the implant removed.
Sounds like you got a new implant.
Yeah.
Bigfoot Littlefoot says exactly opposite. I've been able to have success with CE5s since then, and I feel it lasted 20 years and was just done with its mission, kind of like an old floppy disk that's out of date.
Mm-hmm. No, but a lot of times if you remove or have another one, like if you have one removed like Donna, or one falls out like Bigfoot Littlefoot, they're going to be replaced. And if you take it out with a surgeon like Donna did, most of the time they're just going to be like, why did you do this? Why would you do this? And if it's more like Bigfoot Littlefoot, it's like, oh shit, that wasn't supposed to come out, or we need to get a new one in.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's absolutely true.
And we are family, yes.
Trackway says, I never woke up thinking, crap, they're here to graze. Bigfoot, however, twice in 1 year.
Twice in 1 year.
But Beth said, all this means is we must just all be family. A weird but amazing family. Yeah, and that's true. I'm the weird drunk uncle that wears Bigfoot Hawaiian t-shirts that shows up. And But yeah, we have, I think, successfully created a really, really cool community that has become more like family than anything. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And, when we can come on here and share these stories, someone had said at one point, that's almost like a group kind of thing for them.
Yeah. Like group therapy.
Yeah. It's like group therapy. Like they actually get, some benefit from this. And, it's okay. Like I said, we like to make fun. We like to have fun and joke as well, but we're also very, well, look at that.
Dawn shows up.
Dawn, where you been? And, we're also able to be serious at times, especially when it comes down to this.
Ashley says that shirt is slick, though. Very nice. I don't know if Kelly is still listening, but yes, that is another human being, Kelly, that uses the terminology Slick. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Family. Ron is dad, Joe is mom, and Adam is the weird uncle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so I'll take it.
I'm oddly very nurturing. It's not in a pleasant way, mostly, but it comes with the territory of being a stay-at-home dad.
Right. Absolutely right. So, folks, have you enjoyed the show? Have you gotten, I guess, anything from this? Has it made any sense to you? Because, we sit around and try to figure out these shows for you guys every week. And I'm like, you know what? I want to throw the encounter thing out there. I know we talk about it on and off every now and again, but I really wanted to address it in a bigger form to where it kind of was in that group type setting, right, Adam? To where people could relate to these things. And you don't have to say, oh, me too, I had that happen. No, that's not what this is for. This is for you to understand that if it did, you're not alone. It's just that simple. And there's nothing wrong with you. And it's perfectly normal. The paranormal is very normal. And we are trying our best to continue on our mission to redefine that word.
Yeah.
Well, and it's paranormal is the whole thing is just a new science we haven't discovered yet.
It's very true. Now, everyone who has this wonderful emotional connection that's going on right now, coincidentally or not, it's time to play a little game. So let's do it.
And while you guys are thinking and getting your stuff in, I've already thrown a few of them up on the wall. Ashley says, wait, what's wrong with Slick? Well, my wife just says it makes me sound like I stepped out of the wrong century. Beth says Bigfoot is my uncle's cousin from mom on my dad's side. Donna Ho says, I not only enjoyed the show, I needed it. Very much appreciated. Thank you all. Very welcome, Donna.
Very
Thanks
welcome.
for hanging out with us. We appreciate
Incredibly
you.
welcome. The Men in Black did not enjoy the episode. So everyone, be sure to like, share, and et cetera, because the Men in Black told you not to.
Tommy said, this is the best show. Daniel's a great kid who deserves a lot of respect. He's going places for. He really is. Daniel's
places, dude.
It's been so fun because not a lot of people know that I've been plugged in with this kid since it started, and it's really, really, really cool. He's got a lot going on.
People don't know a lot of things about what we do, Joe.
I know. It's like we keep things secret for a reason, right?
Yep. We have to, though.
And I do want to say something back to Men in Black. And, it's much like, Joe hates, donations that makes blood come out his nose and stuff like that. If you know that Men in Black is going to be at any kind of festival, save up your farts for them. Put them in Tupperware, Ziploc bags, mason jars.
Methane, guys.
Just they need it. They need it to survive and to be able to travel around, So, yeah. Save it up for them. They need it desperately. That's why they're here.
You know what? Methane. I stole their hat the other day.
Good.
Oh, my gosh. You took it home?
Yeah, I sure did. I wore it. I had it on my head, and I completely forgot I had it on my head. It felt so good.
Yeah,
so
it looks good on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I think you should keep it.
Yeah, hey, I was messing with people up there while we were working on the room, and I was kind of over there by the fake mannequin that would peek out every now and again, and jump back out of the way. So all those folks looking up at the at the Men in Black from the statue. That was me. Hey. And then Joe was walking by every now and again.
Oh, man. I scared the snot out of a couple girls and their mom. They were taking pictures, and I was just watching because she was putting on some kind of outfit, like a costume, a Mothman cosplay. And what's funny is I actually saw the photo pop up on Mothman sightings later. I think it was the next day. But yeah, they were up there looking, they saw the Man in Black thing and they were laughing. And then I walked back behind it and I noticed him do one of those. And oh man, it was great. Larry says, awesome show. Really want to meet Daniel in person. Hopefully we're going to be able to make that happen at some point in the future because he's wanting to come over and do some research in our area too.
Oh, and I have an announcement. Whenever you're ready to wrap up.
Well,
do.
Adam Good-ish says, save some farts for me, fellow primates.
Yeah, I'm just plain good, not ish. So whatever. Give it to my cousin. That's fine.
Save your quarters for Steve. He needs to get his lunch at Hillbilly Hot Dogs.
There you go.
Get the
Hey, everyone
Homer.
thought you were MIB.
Here we go. I'm going to turn the card
All
now.
right, go ahead. Do it, Ron.
Here we go. We have a plus. We have a plus.
We have
What?
plus, and apparently Ron is also ashamed to have stolen a hat of a superior organism.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed though. See, that's the whole thing.
See who got plus, who got plus, who got plus.
Who got plus?
Donna, thank you, Donna.
Donna, thank you. Thank you so much. Keeping things moving, keeping things alive.
No, I'm not seeing any pluses. Donna, holy cow.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling through looking for pluses, and
I know.
Donna.
I know.
Thank you, Donna. You are amazing. Very much appreciated.
All right, this one I know. This is a telekinetic type test. Okay, ready, guys? Here we go. Go now, right now. Don't think about it. Just put the right answer. Put the right answer. That's all you got to do. Don't think about it.
Adam's over here making gang signs.
All that. Adam, what is it?
Another superior being.
Let's see it.
You ready?
Yep. All the bacon people. We got a lot of people. Got Anita that hit it. Beth hit it. Tony hit it.
Yep.
Linda Sigmund got it.
Yep.
Angie got it.
Yep.
Got a lot of hits on bacon tonight. Anita got it.
Yep.
Terry.
There you go.
Now, Trackway for posterity's sake, Trackway said the bottom card is a star. What's the bottom
card's
of
a
the
star?
deck?
No. Is the
You
top
did
one a star?
split it just now, though, didn't you?
Not a star. No, I started to. I am now. Oh,
Gotcha.
look at this. Split the deck.
Trackway, I'm going to
That's
count that as a win.
hilarious. I split the deck. Not even split. I just like pulled the top off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, guys. That's good
Trackway, you
stuff.
still wind up getting it some way or another there.
Oh, that's
You
pretty funny.
summoned it into the deck.
That's pretty funny.
Go
I'll give
through
you that
enough
one.
cards. And you'll
Ashley
get
said,
what
I literally screamed bacon out loud. I'm so mad.
Good job. You guys did great. So,
Bacon. I'm hungry now. I haven't.
so
had
you
dinner.
see what you've done here. Well, we've done this little test now for several months. Have you noticed that they're getting a little better when I do the telekinetic part?
Beth's over here pulling a me. Diamond.
Yeah. You're
I'm
not
so
ready
happy
for
I
that.
did pentagram that one time.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Veterans Unite.
So funny. You guys are great. Well,
It's the trauma bonding, man.
I
I
guess.
mean training bonding.
Call it what you want. Whatever
Larry
works
and
for you.
Beth get it.
Whatever helps you to sleep better at night. That's what it is. Believe the lie because, you know, it's okay. Everyone else does. So we'll be back in Point Pleasant this weekend, apparently,
We will be.
for a appearance. If you guys are around and happen to see us, you know.
And don't forget, speaking of Point Pleasant,
Mm-hmm.
new limited edition event designs.
That's
These are going
right.
to come down as soon as the workshop is over. So
That's
if you want
right.
one of these, go get it at the T Public shop.
I just noticed that little Mothman looks like he's eating that shirt.
He does. It's great.
That's hilarious. It's like nom 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 nom.
He's doing what he's made for.
He is. He's eating clothing.
So
Also, while we got you guys, we will be doing a workshop at Monsterfest too. So go check out stmmonsterfest.com. Get your tickets and room reservations now. We're going to be doing a workshop on bridging the gap, data collection techniques in a world of high strangeness. It's going to be a good time, guys.
Nice.
Might even be some orbs floating around. I don't know.
And just for posterity's sake.
Yeah. That's important. I'll make sure everybody understands that. They were asking about where his op-ed was today, and
right.
Yeah, it's all gone kind of silent. Kind of weird. Almost like they have a game plan that they're not going to reveal until they're sure that they're going to win the game. Possibly.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything until I had the piece that I knew that I was going to win the game with.
Mm-hmm. So I have an announcement.
Go ahead, announce.
I'm going to be on Breaking the Silence tomorrow with Steve Neal. So
nice.
It's where people like myself and all of us come to trying to break the silence and stigmas that come with, for this paranormal stuff, especially alien abductions or ET or visitor experiences, however you need to put it. I don't like saying alien or ET, but I like saying visitors or friends. We don't know where they come from, so we don't know where they go. Much like Cotton Eye Joe.
Where did he come from?
So tomorrow on Steve Neal's channel, Breaking the Silence on YouTube. So
that's awesome.
Go check that out, guys.
I'll post a link later.
Larry, I'm sure you'll share the links out and all that when you're getting ready to go on.
Yep, sure will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ron Lanham says, we no longer support David Grush, fellow primates. You may safely ignore his testimony.
Oh man, you guys.
With Men in Black, it's opposite day.
Larry says, we know this because of Trauma Bond should be the government's motto. It really, really should be.
I don't know. I mean, if Trauma Bond was a real thing, you think everybody would be friends 2020.
Beth says she wants to go live with us one of these days. Well, let's do it. Let's make it happen. You tell us when and we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
We can do it next. Well, can't do it next week because Ron's going to be on vacation.
No.
But I'll be here so you can come on with me.
Yeah. You might need a host. You never know.
I know. I might. Adam
probably be sick again.
Anytime you need me.
Okay. Well, we might be getting a phone call in case Brandon is out of commission again.
You just never know with poor old Brandon. Everybody's saying Brandon some energy. He really needs it for real.
Yeah, dude's been getting his butt kicked for nearly 2 months now, in the health department. It's just been virus after virus after virus for him, and it sucks.
Tony, now I've got an idea stuck in my head. I know. Where did he come from?
Pat says live from Wineberry. When? I don't know, but I'm sure you're probably going to be there because
that's going to be funny. That'd be hilarious. Live from Wineberry. It's wild and weird,
Ron, Ron is abandoning us. He is going to go watch the totality eclipse out in the Midwest, and hearkening the destruction of the planet. And
I have things to do. I am the key master.
He wants to be right there in the center of it all when we get whatever it is that everybody's saying is going to happen, like all those Bible verses that are half cocked and half translated.
You have to play the magic ocarina during the heart of the eclipse to open the gate to Aroshna. That's what has to happen. You just don't understand, people. You just don't understand.
I mean, why don't we just get some swords and just there can only be one.
I know, right? I was asking some people, I was like, you guys believe this stuff. You might as well, go out there and start banging on the drums and scaring the dragon away because it's eating the sun. They didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Because, they don't understand history. And the people who don't understand history are usually condemned to, what is that called?
Refuted?
Possibly refute. I think it's refuted.
We got another team, Big Rock.
Used to be repeat it, but yeah. Sad.
Thanks for catching on there, Ron.
Yeah, I got it.
So, guys, it's going to be fun. Next week, we'll be here. As long as Ron has a decent Wi-Fi signal, he should be on for at least a little bit.
We'll see.
Then
I may be back.
What is it?
I may be back.
Adam might be back. In all likelihood, Adam will be back.
I have a feeling Adam will be back. Yes.
And but it'll be a good time. We'll keep it rolling as usual, guys. Next week at 8 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. It'll be fun. Kind of have a good time because that's all I know how to do, guys.
Well, I mean, you can have a bad time, but what's the point?
Right?
That's what I keep asking people. It's like, why do you want to be miserable? I mean, there's no point.
Pat says apes scare dragon away. Make it throw up, son.
Oh, there's a plan.
So essentially, we just need tequila shooters, and
there you go.
Probably work.
Just make the sun.
I'm already festively dressed. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go get some tacos and margaritas. Come on.
Tacos and margaritas.
Ada, good night. Donna, good night. Beth, good night.
Everyone, thank you.
Everybody, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We love each and every one of you all that decide to spend their Thursday evenings with us. Right now we've got a couple dozen of you guys just hanging out with us, and it's awesome. And y'all are the ride or dies. The ones that stick to the end of the show and are there with us week in, week out. So thank you guys.
It'll work out good for you one day too, because we'll probably make a really important announcement at the end of the show eventually. Yep. So, that's probably going to happen.
So Ron, anything left on the table for you?
Anything left on the table? No, I don't think there's anything left on the table. Not on this table anyway.
Adam?
Breaking the Silence tomorrow.
Yeah, Breaking the Silence tomorrow. Steve Nils podcast over on YouTube. It's not hard to find. Just type in Steve Nils' name and it'll bring it up. Or you can type in Breaking the Silence's name. That's how I've been going to listen to it.
I'll get a link out later tonight or tomorrow.
Perfect.
There you go. Yeah, put it
That'll
up.
That'll be fantastic. Everybody follow that link. It's going to be a good time. What time is it airing?
I believe 9 p.m. Eastern, but I wouldn't quite quote it. Just he's on the West Coast, and it's always just kind of getting messed up. So
right on.
Okay.
8 o'clock says, "Well, the owls say good night." Who?
Owl houses. Look, there it is.
Just like that makes me happy.
Well, everybody, good night, and remember, you guys are welcome here anytime, regardless of the experiences, regardless of what your stories are. We're going to listen to them. We're going to give you the ear that you need to listen all the time. Nothing weird, nothing cryptic. Stay wild and weird, everybody.
Except the men in black might show up and make fun of you, but that's on them.
That'll be a thing.
Yeah, it's on them.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just give them farts later.
Ashley says, "Be good to each other. Happy Easter for the religious. Happy Zombie Jesus Day for the non-religious." I hope you all find the eggs.
Find the eggs. It's brilliant.
Celebrate the rising of Jesus with little chocolate eggs that bunnies put everywhere.
It's really weird. Really weird the connection that was made there. But again, happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah,
enjoy the holiday weekend. Enjoy spring break if you're on it, or if you're coming up on it. You guys have a good time. Stay wild and weird.